All right, this is the first addressing rumors videos. And obviously, I mean, government and politics in general, people in general, and then governmental organizations themselves are great at generating rumors, and people generate rumors, I think, accidentally because of miscommunication and misunderstandings and things like that. But it's also very purposefully, obviously, done for political reasons too. And so I have been releasing a ton of information, since I've been in, and I think that helps. But then there's just weird stuff that comes out, and so I've just kind of been keeping a list and thinking about the best way to try to address that so people can get more on the same page. And I figured I'll just shoot videos, little updates, and that way people can hear directly what is actually happening, what is the truth, and people have something to reference to. And so I'll just cover one issue on these, and eventually I'll work through a list. But they're being generated continually as well. And I mean, my philosophy is there's a lot of bad stuff, and I said I would fix as much as I could in the township in my 4 years. And we're only a handful of months away from approaching being halfway through, and so I've been trying to address as much as I can and get things going, but I can't get the organization to really run any smoother. We are establishing a decent kind of list, like an objective list of things that have been achieved, and that's good. But I'm hoping this kind of helps because of all the background noise that you get with these types of things. And some people directly ask me, and I'll tell them, but after you tell this person, this person, this person, this person, this person, you realize that it's kind of a pervasive thing. So one of the weirdest ones, and this is from a while ago, but heard the rumor, and then I hear rumors about myself, which is kind of funny, and with varying levels of truth. This one is just completely out of the blue. It was that I was either building a mosque or selling land to build a mosque. And it's a very odd one because I don't know where it came out of. It's one of those that I don't even know what the seed would be, right? So someone just made it up out of nothing. And how this went about is the township owns the various pieces of land. I think a lot of people know about that. In 1987 alone, the township got 15,000 pieces of small land, and it used to be that if you bought a newspaper subscription in Chicago, you get this small, tiny piece of land in Dalton Township, and so it's been this thing. And I think we found records of land coming to the township back to the 1920s and the 60s. The one big year in 87 from the county and the state and this type of thing. And some of them have restricted deeds, some of them don't. So it's quite complex selling them and designating them for things and this type of stuff. And we found out that if we sell land with some sort of restriction on the deed that is just like this has to be used for conservation, but it might just be one tiny piece of land inside a bunch of pieces that don't. So it really doesn't work for that. That if we're selling that type of piece, we thought the money had to go to the state. And then the state treasury ended up getting back to us. This was when Kim was still here, obviously, a decent amount of turnover. And she found out from the state that it would go to the county. And so I talked to the county about it, and I was already working on the business park and that type of thing. And so I was working out this land sale deal that if we do have restricted deed properties that fall into that category, instead of us, the township, giving 100% of the money to the county, that we would split it. Because otherwise, there's no incentive for the township clearing this stuff up and going through the process and the hassle and putting in the time of employees to get these things resolved. After we resolve it, we just have to send all the money to the county. And then since it's not happening, it's not really benefiting the county anyway. So it would make the most sense to benefit the county and the township to make a deal. And I just proposed splitting it 50-50. And that had to go to the county board of commissioners, of course, to get approved. And so everything was good, and I had arranged all this through the county administrator, and everything was good. And I wasn't even sure I was going to go to the meeting. It's kind of a no-brainer. It's beneficial for the county and beneficial for the township, and pretty straightforward. And that same day, that morning, I ended up getting, I think, a couple of texts, a couple of calls from different county commissioners that there was something weird going on, that the deal was for me to build a mosque somewhere. And within the day, it ended up spreading, as far as I could tell, through the Democrats and Republicans at the county commissioner level. So someone was good. Someone knew their stuff. They know how to spread rumors in the way that they want. I don't know. In this type of stuff, it's so weird. It's like, who does that even benefit? Like, they just invented a lie out of nothing, and then why? Like, for what end? I guess just to troll me, just to try to cause problems. Maybe it's weird. It's hard to tell. It's kind of hard to guess at. But so I had to address that with a few different county commissioners that morning, and then ended up going to that meeting. I think it was somewhere in the middle of the day, and specifically, spoke and addressed that the township didn't have any particular uses with the plan. I don't have a grand scheme or a grand idea. I just wanted to make them available if people requested purchasing them, which we've been consistently doing. And then that goes into the finances, trying to resolve the financial issues in the township, and that's been going decently well. There's a bunch of stuff on that. There's various stuff on the on the list, but I figured I would start with the building a mosque or selling land for a mosque or something. And it doesn't make sense on multiple levels, right? So there's freedom of religion. It's like if someone was building a mosque, you can't stop them. That would be un-American to say that we're trying to exclude a religion in a specific area. And then second of all, it's just out of nothing. Like there's not even a grain of truth in it, as far as I can tell. And it's been a while now, and I don't think any mosque has been built. So very, very odd. And there's a bunch of these types of things happening all the time. And so I figure if I just address them this way, then everyone can kind of have that shared reference point to check in on things. And then if people want to follow up with more stuff or more details, I guess I don't really have any more details than that, other than the agreement that the township board had passed and then the county board had passed about the land sales. And if anyone wants to request land, then we have a policy for that we've reviewed and changed a few times since I've been in office, and the board's still trying to kind of work out. So any of those added details, feel free to reach out about that, about anything, about if you guys are hearing rumors, and I'll just kind of add stuff to the list as I go and address these things, and that way we can essentially illuminate the darkness by showing the light. And I think that idea of transparency and everything, obviously I'm heavy into and I lean on pretty strongly. I think it's important. And even if the organization doesn't function well, as long as the things are transparent, at least people can look into and can, even if they don't keep up with every single thing, if there is a question that they have, they can find it and have some sort of reference, and at least have a conversation where you have some sort of shared reference, maybe find some common ground. So that's the basic idea, but that's the one about me. Jeff is building a mosque or however exactly that rumor went, but that was an odd one. There's a number of odd ones, but that was definitely one of the oddest from my perspective, because I don't know where it would have come from. I'm still curious. If anyone knows where it came from, let me know, because I would be curious to know. All right, until next time, Jeff signing off.